Okay, this is my comparison between Takata Tomi's masterpiece Skyfire and FansToys FT-10 Phoenix, which is their version of a masterpiece scaled Skyfire. So first thing I want to do is point out that this is not a versus video, because versus tends to suggest that one is better than the other, one wins, one loses, regardless of, you know, if you pick one or the other, then you win, because clearly that's not the case here. You know, whether you like one or the other is really based on your preference, and so that's it's really subjective. Everyone has different opinions. So this is not a versus video. This is a comparison where I just want to point out all the differences between the two figures. But I will say that when it comes down to the engineering design, you know, how well they design the transformation, that one, clearly there is, you know, something that's done better, you know, so I will mention that, you know, when I come across them. But that's just a quick look at the figure, both figures all around. So now let's take a closer look. So let's zoom in, take a close-up look, starting off with Takata Tomi's. Let's take a close-up look at that head. It's a nicely sculpted head, and you know, the more and more I look at it, it does look more like the cartoon. So this is really a nice head sculpt, very cartoon accurate. Now the difference here is FansToys, and you could see, well, it depends on how you see it, but this one looks more muscular with the defined facial features, plus the little detail that they did like on the ears. So that's a theme throughout this figure with Takata. They do put the effort to put in a little bit more of these details, which is not cartoon accurate, but I have to admit that does make it look really nice. So here, back to the Takata Tomy, it does come with a nice feature where you can open this up like in the cartoon, and I'm trying to do this with the one hand, where it shows you his activation monitor, which is really a cool feature, and that is something that you learn in product design, where, you know, to help sell your product, you want to add little features here and there, you know, to make it more appealing. FansToys did not do anything like that on the head, but they did give you extra details. And then the chest, very cartoon accurate here with Takata Tomy, like all the little details that you see in the cartoon. Very plain here on the hips with the red, cartoon accurate with 3 vents there, and it's just a nice straight up blue for the window. And here with Takata Tomy, you could see the difference. They make the effort to paint these areas so you get all this nice detail, which does make it look a little nicer, like more accent. Here the window with the metallic, with the chrome plated silver underneath, with the transparent red on the hips, with the same thing, the chrome plated silver, makes it look really nice, much more premium look and feel to it. They even did with the shoulders too. So there's a difference there. Both of them, they do have this feature where you could swap out the chest plate. And I think that was, you know, a good move because it did appear in the cartoon. But it really comes down to, you know, how they designed it. Takata Tomy, they did it where you lift it up. And FansToys, it's kind of like a tab. You have to pull it out. So that, you know, this is part of making decisions in product design. It's just how you want to do it. And I actually don't think this tabbing system works really well because it's hard to take out. This one, it does secure much more by sliding down, so it kind of locks. But I will point out that, who is it? I think it was New Age. I like theirs, how it's all incorporated, so you could just flip it around. But Takata Tomy could not do that because of the way this transformation was designed. And so, mentioning that, look at the top view here. That looks very messy. And that's just unfortunate consequence of how they designed the transformation. FansToys, you can see they did a better job on designing the transformation, so it looks very clean there. So that has nothing to do with the aesthetics, but more with the engineering design. And so can't really get on to that, but you know, once you come up with the concept, you go over it and come up with new ideas and more and more until you come up with the finalized version. But this is what Takata decided. And then let's just go over real quick. No hip waist articulation on both because of the way this character is. Although you can manipulate FansToys where you can get a slight rotation, but it's not really a waist rotation when you consider you have to mistransform it. And then the legs, the hips, they do go out to the side, front and back, and they do swivel, knees bend. Nothing really to point out there. They do articulate very well. But the feet, here's something different I want to point out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you, but I could just point it out. You don't get really good ankle rockers with Takata Tomy's feet. You just get one ratchet joint for a stance, but that's it. And with FansToys, very limited ankle rocker, but at least you can position it. And the bigger issue here is the you can't really get up and down with Takata Tomy. You can get one. Let's see if I can show you one like that, and that's it going forward. And you can't really get a back. I mean, you can get a back, but that's it. Just one click. So that's I'm not saying that's good or bad. That's just how they made it. And if you want, you can extend the foot to get more range, but that's mistransforming it to do that. FansToys, however, you can get much better articulation with the foot going forward and back, which I kind of don't really want to do. And you even get like the toe, so that's kind of cool. So something more you get with FansToys, something limited you get with Takata Tomy in terms of the feet. But again, the details, which I was telling you, square on the knees, even the little Tetris shape on the lower leg, and you could see FansToys designs it so it looks a little bit more interesting, and they even painted it to look a little bit nicer, which is not cartoon accurate, but it does look nice. So there's some more difference. And then let's come to the side, and you could see the forearm, that little L shape, and and FansToys, same thing, that's what they do. Down to the thighs, you could see very plain like a cartoon, but FansToys, they add some extra detail. And then here, this red box on the lower leg, Takata Tomy does make theirs more cartoon accurate, and I think what's important to point out is how it matches the red backpack, because many people have complained that FansToys made this metallic red, which is inconsistent with the red backpack, and I totally agree. I think that was just a really odd decision to do that, and so there's just a difference. And Takata Tomy just incorporated a lot more features with this figure, so it can open up, and you could put those mini figures and stuff. FansToys is not, but that's not a fair comparison because it's just pointing out Takata Tomy is focused more on, stuff in product design where you incorporate some features as a selling point. So, yeah, that's a difference there with the lower leg. So I think that's pretty much the front, and I think the side, there was something with the side. Again, another difference. That little triangle detail in the cartoon, and the way FansToys did it, painting it so it has more like a accent, which looks nice. So again, it's there's no right or wrong or one's better than the other, this versus, because it's really just the difference and what your preference is. This is more cartoon accurate, which I prefer. However, this one, FansToys, does some details, which does make it look nice. I have to admit, it makes it look nicer, but it's not cartoon accurate. So it's not one's better than the other. It just comes down to what you prefer. I prefer this, but I do like this and appreciate it. So just sharing what my point of view is on it. And now let's come down here to the back. So let's zoom back here so we can see the back. And you could see Takata Tomy's back is a little bit bigger, and FansToys is a little bit smaller. So one is actually closer to the cartoon and one's not. And that all has to do with the way they designed the transformation. But again, the difference is here it's very plain dark window, but FansToys, again, they put in that metallic, the chrome plated silver, so it just comes out looking nicer. And I actually prefer that blue, lighter blue, much better, because this one almost looks black, which is not cartoon accurate. And I don't want to go through all of the details here, but because it's kind of hard to show. But this red box here with the red stripe, with the the little details that they put in there, which is kind of hard to see from the underside, which is really cool. FansToys did the same thing, I think, and just showing you the difference. FansToys here, they even put some details right there, which I think is cool, and this one's more cartoon accurate. And for me, one of the other difference is these jet thrusters. You see how they're this gunmetal gray, which is more cartoon accurate, and FansToys did the black, which in my opinion I don't like that. Same with the feet. because it should be like a gray, not a black. And there's a lot of other figures where they use black instead of the gray. And then just the legs, very plain and simple. And the transformation, this, I don't like how you have to yank this leg down to extend it. I can see how, you know, they save on cost of materials and stuff to do that. But here, FansToys, you can see they have this die-cast push button, kind of like the original Optimus Prime, which I think is a better design, but it actually costs a lot more to do that. And yeah, I'm seeing it here that I didn't point out, but the inner leg here, you could see that circle with the L shape, very cartoon accurate. And you could see how FansToys did it. I laugh because, again, it's like, you know, I really like cartoon accurate, but I laugh because this does look nice. There's no denying that extra detail does make it look nice. So I want to do this just so I can give you a better view. Here's the jetpack. So you can see, really nice. And FansToys, how did they do that? They did the same thing, all that nice little detail. So really great job. And then let's finish up here, just a plain white stripe. You could see how FansToys added a little extra detail. And then the wings, very cartoon accurate, very plain. FansToys, this was their best to kind of clean it up. You know, you have to fold in the tips, but you can see how they handled it with the yellow tip there. So that's really kind of cool. And I think both of them have, I forgot what you call it, but it's those things so that the wings can help lift the jet up. So you do get some articulation with the wing. So that's kind of nice. Let me see. I think Takata Tomy did the same thing too. I just don't remember. So let's see. Yeah, Takata Tomy did the same thing. Here you get that wing articulation, which helps the plane to lift up. So that's a look at the figure, and I like how this happened because this is not really an aesthetic thing. This is a functional thing. This is product design, and this is not really well designed here. You can see how you have the peg there that's supposed to go in here, and it's only one. So that one is not enough to keep this locked in place. So that's yeah, I can give open, honest criticism there in terms of design. That this was not designed very well because it does not stay in place. So, but in terms of the articulation, since it's coming out here, I mean, you do get extra articulation with the FansToys with this butterfly joint. See, again, it just comes right off just from trying to manipulate it, which is really nice. FansToys, you don't get that, but pretty much the same articulation. So that's I think a big difference to point out. You do get one extra articulation with the butterfly joint on Takata Tomy. Let me see if I can try to fix this up again. So like I said, this is not a good design with the shoulder, how it just keeps coming out. So let me see if I can push this down without having it pop out. With one hand, by the way. And then let's go over the hand, because the hand is really cool. And in all fairness, this is Takata Tomy is a newer figure, so they are incorporating that organic hand, so it does look much more organic. And in terms of the articulation, you get 2 joints on the fingers, and what's cool is you get a wrist articulation, but that I think is more with the transformation. And FansToys hand, it does look a little messy and very boxy, but again, I pointed out that's because this is an older figure, because FansToys obviously takes pride in their figures, and so their newer figures has more of the organic hands, but they did give you extra articulation with the fingers, and you do get a ball joint with the thumb. I think that's good to point out, because here the thumb, you have to really be careful not to accidentally snap and break this, because it's just on a hinge there. It does not rotate. But what's really cool, I think this was the first time FansToys did this, where you can take the index finger and put it in the trigger of the gun. That was really cool. And Takata Tomy, no, it's pretty plain and simple. But let's see, last thing, let's look at the gun. So Takata Tomy, this is very cartoon accurate gun, and I like the gray, not black, so it's more cartoon accurate. It has a nice gunmetal gray paint finish. And FansToys, same thing. You can see how they just put in all this extra detail. Not overly detailed, because if they did that, that would be bad design. But look at it, just makes it look much nicer, more realistic. And it is black, where I'm just telling you, that's my opinion. I don't like the black gun, the black feet, the black jetpack. It should be like the cartoon gray feet, gray jetpack. But that's just a aesthetic choice there. No right or wrong. So that's a quick look at them in their robot mode. And if you stuck with me up to this point, rambling on and on about all these little details, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I want to point out that this is really hard to point out everything, because there's a lot that I didn't mention, and it's also kind of hard to remember everything, such as the die cast that you get with FansToys. And I think there is a little bit of die cast in the Takata, but they're kind of staying away from that. Obviously, it's for cost. It costs more. But FansToys, they take pride in making their figures, so they're going to go all out to make a really nice figure. So that's that for robot mode. And so all I have to say is that there is no winner. There is no versus one's better than the other. These are obviously two different takes on the figure. Takata Tomy is more hypertune, so it looks a lot like the cartoon. And FansToys has a more premium look to it, if you will, with all the added extra details. And I have to say, I think they did a really good job on the details, because it's not excessive like some other companies would just go crazy with all the details. And they still kept it close to the cartoon, such as, the shape of the lower leg, that triangle, and all the other areas that's very characteristic of the character. And, the materials, such as the transparent red on the hips with the chrome plated plastic to make it shine, the die cast metal. It's just a premium figure. And both are well made for the most part, and they both look really good. They function really well. Transformation, engineering, design, the aesthetics, based on your preference. Both of these are really good. So I don't really know what else to say other than that, other than I really like both of them. And neither one is better than the other. Just the facts, just pointing out the difference. This one's more hypertune. This one, you know, I don't know what to call it. It's just has a more premium look and feel to it. So that's my final thoughts on these figures in robot mode. So now let's take a look at them in their vehicle or in their jet mode.
We need reinforcements, and we need them now!
Ask, and you shall receive.
Skyfire!
Your slave control time's over, Megatron.